call to order the meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen for June the 21st. Man, this month's going by fast. The first thing on our agenda is to adopt the agenda. Couple of changes. If you would add to the consent agenda, request permission to hire 3 employees in the Utilities Department, request permission to hire an employee in the Building and Grounds Department, request permission to accept the resignation of an employee in the Development Services Department, request permission to approve a step raise for an Oxford Fire Department employee for completing EMT training and passing the state exam. So those are all under B. A change on the consent agenda, item 6B1, change that from 2 part-time employees to 3. And then add to, are these last 2 for consent, request permission to approve a revised SRO agreement, or are those to be added to the regular agenda?
They can be whatever you choose, Mayor.
Okay, I'm gonna add request permission to approve a revised SRO agreement at 13A. And an application for the request permission to apply for a Mississippi State Department of Health Office of Interpersonal Violence Victim and Crime Act VOCA grant for 22-23 at 13B. Okay. All right, with all of those changes, do we have a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, a quick mayor's report tonight. I'm excited to report that we had our largest Juneteenth celebration ever last Saturday, and the Saturday prior, the linen on the lawn at the pavilion that was well attended and a whole lot of fun. Both of them were, and thank you to Keisha Howell Atkinson for all of the work that goes into that from her. She is the star of the show and does the majority of the work, but has a committee that works hard as well. They had over 63 vendors this year, and it was amazing. So, and it was hot as can be, and still had 63 vendors, and it was packed. So we are proud of you and thank you. And I know that Ulysses Howell was giving us all high fives, so thank you. Excited to report our sales tax, food and beverage tax, and 2% tax revenues. Sales tax came in at $1.129 million, and that's up 6% for the month and up 4% for the year. We set a new record in 2% food and beverage, and so these taxes reflect tax revenues for the month of April. So that was double-decker month, so it's cool to see that we set a new record in 2% funds. They came in at $432,846. That's up 20% from last month and 12% from the year before. Hotel motel tax was up to $53,430.69. That's up 15% from last month and 11% from last year. We are excited to see those numbers as we have started meeting with department heads to set our fiscal year budget for next year. So it's exciting to see these tax revenues going up. Several of us will be traveling to Biloxi this weekend to be at the Mississippi Municipal League Conference, and I'm proud to say that we have several department heads who will be presenting at those meetings, demonstrating that Oxford is indeed leading the way. Last, I would like to invite everyone here, and it has been in the paper and pushed out, so spread the word. Donna Fisher's retirement. Donna has served us so loyally in our court department, and her retirement celebration will be this Friday from 1 to 3 in courtroom 1 out at the court facility on Buddy East Parkway. With that, I will ask the board to authorize the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting on June 7th, 2022.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ask you to authorize the approval of accounts for all city departments.
I move we pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ask you to consider the consent agenda with the large number of additions that we had and that one change.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next on our agenda is to adopt a retirement resolution for Development Services Street Department employee Jarvy Holman. Jarvy, if you'll come up. Welcome. Absolutely. Thank you for being here with us tonight. I am going to read this resolution for the board to adopt in your honor. Whereas Jarvy Holman began his career with the City of Oxford Street Department in May of 2013, where he faithfully served the citizens of Oxford for 9 years, and whereas Jarvy Holman has earned the admiration and respect of all who worked with him through his integrity, dedication, work ethic, and patience, and whereas Jarvy Holman has been a mentor to many and displayed a commitment to help others reach their highest and best potential, and whereas Jarvy Holman has always held a calm demeanor in any storm, whether it be proverbial or literal, ice, rain, wind, more ice, and whereas Jarvy Holman has consistently been willing to do whatever was asked without complaint and just happens to be able to do just about anything. And whereas Jarvy Holman has made an indelible mark on the City of Oxford through his devotion to his community, his co-workers, and his family, and that his legacy will be remembered and celebrated for many years to come. Therefore, be it resolved that the City of Oxford Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Oxford express our sincere appreciation and gratitude to Jarvy Holman for his work on behalf of the Development Services Street Department and the community. We extend to him all the best wishes for a happy and enriching retirement. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be spread upon the minutes of the City of Oxford and that a copy of same be presented to Jarvy Holman on this day, the 21st of June, 2022. The floor is yours.
It's an honor, and I'm overwhelmed. And I just thank the city, the board, for giving me an opportunity several years ago just to come on and be a part of the Oxford team. And as you say, I tried to do the best I can, and whatever came up, tried to handle it in a way that it would be dignified and will be approved by anyone.
Mission accomplished, my friend.
And I just want to thank y'all. And the support that I've had is overwhelming. I'm sort of lost for words, so I'm just happy to be here and to be a part of this city.
Well, we thank you for your dedicated work and for always being the guy that says, yeah, I'll do that. And you will be missed. And I hope you enjoy your retirement and don't be a stranger.
Oh, I will not be.
Okay.
I will not be.
Best
I'll
wishes.
I'll thank y'all.
Could I have a motion to adopt that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. And now we have the privilege of recognizing 2 OPD Valor Award winners. I'll let Chief McCutcheon take this one.
Thank you, Mayor. I have Shay Zinniker and Jessica Bray here with me, and I'll read a brief statement, but I think it's so important. You know, we always brag about the resources we have here in this community and how great they are, but they're not great without great people, and we have great people that live here and work here, and I'd like to talk about an event that happened on June the 8th, and so on Wednesday, June the 8th, the Oxford Police Department responded to DD Drive and University Avenue for a shots fired call. It was reported that one person had been shot and multiple shots were still being fired. When officers arrived, they found a young lady present that was suffering from a gunshot wound. What we learned over the course of the investigation was nothing short of heroic. 1 shots had been fired. Shay Zinniker and Jessica Bray responded to the area after being called by their friend for help. Ms. Zinniker and Bray immediately began trying to get their friend to safety when shots began to ring out once again. As shots were being fired, Ms. Zinniker and Bray did not focus on their own safety, but solely focused on helping their friend navigate to a safe area. Once inside, they applied a makeshift tourniquet to stop the bleeding. When first responders arrived, the victim was in stable condition and in good spirits because of the quick and brave actions of both Ms. Zinniker and Ms. Bray. It's because of their brave and selfless actions that we would like to present them with the Oxford Police Department Award for Valor.
Thank you, ladies. Would you like to say anything? You sure? That's right. You'll dodge bullets, but not say anything in the meeting. I hear you. Well, I just want to tell you how proud your entire community is of you. and just how much respect I have for both of you. I've seen the video, and I am so touched at the way that you put your lives at risk to save your friend. And I just wish that we had a million other citizens that were just like y'all. So thank you very much for making a difference, and we're so proud of you. All right, I'll invite Pam Swain up to give us a quick update on our 4th of July events. Thank you.
So much, Mayor Board.
Absolutely.
To be with y'all, and to give you an update in our community, an update on the plans for the 4th of July. We are organizing again the LMU 4th of July fireworks show that will be on Monday, July 4th. The fireworks will be at 9 p.m. And this year we're excited to welcome Northeast Spark as our presenting sponsor of the fireworks. And like I said, they will be at 9 p.m. behind Oxford High School. We're working with the same fireworks company that we have before that has shot the last few years from Oxford High School. So we feel like the transition from year to year is just smoother and smoother. He's already been to the site, assessed everything. I know he's been in touch with emergency management to make sure all that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. So we look forward to a great event. We invite the community to come out on July the 4th. Bullseye 95.5 will be playing music that will start at exactly the moment that the fireworks start at 9 p.m. And we appreciate the City of Oxford for your support in the past and hopefully continued support of the fireworks show. It couldn't happen without your support. And so we're grateful to each and every one of you for all that you give to make this happen for our community. We get calls each and every day about the plan, so people are really anticipating another year.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pam, for doing the hard work and getting it planned for us and publicizing it every year. Is there a 4th of July parade?
There is not.
Okay, I knew I hadn't heard about one, so.
We've not had a 4th of July parade or the events in the Grove since 2019, since
Yeah.
before COVID, and they just haven't come back. We do invite any nonprofit in the future when we look forward to 2023 that would like to take on some of the activities like the parade, which is the children's parade, and the 4th of July activities in the Grove, and then the 5K run. Yes, thank you, 5K run. I've gotten several questions about that. If any nonprofit that would like to take those activities over in the years to come, we would love.
Great fundraiser for somebody.
It is a ready-made fundraiser for
Yeah.
a few nonprofits that
Yeah,
are interested
absolutely.
in doing a few things. So we invite
Great.
you to be in touch with us on it.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Pam.
Sorry. Public hearing for proposed combined water and sewer revenue bond, issue series 2022. Sue Fairbank. There. Great, how are you doing?
So, at your May 17th meeting, you adopted an intent resolution to issue revenue bonds or revenue debt in an amount not to exceed $4 million to finance the acquisition of an existing water facility and do some improvements to that facility. The public hearing was set in that resolution for tonight. We published the resolution for 3 weeks as required by the statute. So we're now ready to hold the public hearing, and we'll just need to open it up to see if there's anyone here to speak for or against the issuance of this debt.
So this is a public hearing. If there's anyone present that would like to speak for or against this, we welcome you to come up front now and do so. Going once, going twice. All right. It appears there is not.
Okay,
So we'll move to adopting the resolution. You can go ahead.
okay. So what we're asking now is for the adoption of this resolution authorizing the issuance of this debt in an amount not to exceed $4 million. By adoption of this resolution, you have 2 years to issue the debt, although I know we'll issue it this summer sometime.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Steve, for being here. Yeah, we got a really loud second down here. An enthusiastic second on buying pumpkin water. All right, the next thing on our agenda is to authorize the reappointment of John Bounds to the Oxford Housing Authority Board. He is willing to continue his service on that board and brings a lot of institutional knowledge in his service there. Could I have a motion to reappoint John Bounds to the Oxford Housing Authority Board?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? That was better. Request permission to approve a parade permit for NJ Correnti to host the Nicholas Air 5K Run on Saturday, September the 17th at 9 a.m. Chief?
Yes, ma'am, same route and the way we did last year.
All right.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to approve the revised SRO agreement for FY 2023.
Yes, ma'am, we just made a couple of typo errors in there, so we cleaned that up and make sure all copies were the same. Nothing changed from the content.
All right.
Motion made.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to apply for a VOCA grant for 22-23.
This is the grant that we applied for last year that reimbursed us around $50,000, high 40s for Miss Valerie's salary, and we want to apply for that again.
Motion made. Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to approve a parade assembly permit for Forrest Jenkins to host the Rally for Reproductive Freedom on Saturday, July 2nd from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
They're requesting the front steps of City Hall and then to do a walk around the square twice and then back to City Hall from 10 to 12.
Okay, and no parking is being requested to be reserved. All right. Any questions, or is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, request permission to approve a parade assembly permit for Andrew King to host an International Ghost Skateboarding Day celebration on Sunday, June 26th from 3 until 3:30.
Yes, ma'am, they will start at Avent Park and we'll hold traffic as they skate to the skate park.
Motion made.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right, first reading, public hearing, thank you, Chief, and vote on a proposed ordinance amending Section 66, licenses and taxation to add Article 7, medical cannabis license.
Yes, ma'am, we're requesting the ability to create a new license for medical cannabis uses. As you'll see in the staff report, there are some requirements. There are some requirements that they would have to comply with. Most importantly, anything that they're going to provide to the state as part of their application, they'll have to provide with that. But then also any communications from the state, they will also have to provide that to us. So we'll know when they're approved, if they're in violation, or any other correspondence. The application fee or the license fee is $1,500 one-time fee, and then renewed at $1,000 per year.
We had hoped that we would be able to charge for our licensing fee what we believe that it will cost us to both oversee this new business category and the policing and security measures and city clerk's office responsibilities and inspections and all of those things, but the state chose to allow themselves to charge an exorbitant fee and limit what municipalities could charge, so that's that. So this is what we believe that we can charge legally. So July the 1st is when they will begin applying for these licenses, which is why you have a first reading, public hearing, and vote on this listed on the agenda. So let me ask if there's anyone here that would like to speak publicly regarding this Section 66. Okay, hearing none. Does anyone from the board have a question, or would you like to make a motion to accept this Article 7?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
First reading of a proposed ordinance to rezone approximately 22.21 acres for case 2867, Andrew Ross, for the Pat Patterson Parkway PUD from neighborhood residential in TMB to planned unit development for property located between Anchorage Road and Pat Patterson Parkway, being further identified as PPINs 39601 and 39602.
As the mayor said, that this is an application to rezone this property, about 22 acres, from traditional neighborhood business and neighborhood residential to a planned unit development. In the staff report, there's a detailed analysis of the PUD plan that has been proposed here. Effectively, what the applicant is requesting is the ability to change some of the uses that are allowed. You can see a portion of that property along Anchorage Road, which is up at the top of the screen there. Actually all of that property up there was zoned traditional neighborhood business. And in the lower right-hand corner, that property was zoned for neighborhood residential. And so what you're seeing is the PUD master plan would allow for residential uses along Anchorage Road and those portions of property that are colored yellow. In the green area, it would be, you can see there's a walking trail. There would be some open space, but that would also be regional stormwater detention. And then where it's pink, there would be more commercial uses. The applicant in their PUD plan, they are proposing to follow all of the land development code requirements, so, build to line setbacks, lot coverage, use requirements, with one exception. In the residential area, they would request the ability to, by special exception, have an art studio. So probably a lesser intense use in that area. But again, that would be requested, have the ability to request that by special exception should somebody wish to come forward with that, and the Planning Commission would have to consider that. They are proposing a connector access road to be determined if that would be public or private. That would be something that would be as part of discussion, and the location of that road would be part of further discussions. But you can see that would be a connector road, a much needed connector road between Anchorage Road and Pat Patterson Parkway. I think it's important to note in the staff report the requirements for rezoning as established by state case law. This was not a mistake. And there is the requirement, even for planned unit developments, there is a requirement to meet the test for change in need. And so in this, the applicant believes that at the time that the property was zoned, Pat Patterson Parkway was still under construction. So with that new road that has been put in place with the transaction of property over time, that they believe that there is change in that area, and there is need for commercial uses in that particular area. The large amount of residential development that has occurred along Anchorage Road and some along Pat Patterson Parkway, they believe justifies that. They believe that this PUD is consistent with the comprehensive plan and create neighborhood center and neighborhood retail options for people. Staff has also evaluated this, and we believe that there is change in, to the extent that the intent of the property has changed with ownership, and then also there is need for commercial uses along Pat Patterson Parkway. We do also believe, and this was part of our recommendation, that there is sound logic in commercial retail being focused along Pat Patterson Parkway. I mean, Anchorage Road is developed primarily as residential, between just houses along Anchorage Road, but then also with larger developments that have been developed over a period of time. The Planning Commission did have a meeting about this last Monday on June 13th. There was very little discussion by the Planning Commission, mainly procedural questions. They did, as staff did, we recommended approval with 3 conditions that are stated in the staff report, and there was a motion and a unanimous decision made by the Planning Commission to recommend approval of this rezoning. So this is a first reading. I'm happy to answer any questions, or if you do have questions between now and the second reading and public hearing, I'm happy to sit down and chat with you.
You may have any questions? All right, then we will see this on our agenda again in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Robert, request permission to approve a final plat amended for case 2870 Heritage Development LLC for Heritage Center lots 39 and 40 for property located at 310 and 312 Heritage Drive, being further identified as PPIN 1906.
Okay, so the subject property is about 2 acres located on the east side of Heritage Drive, south of Anderson Road. Applicant is requesting to amend the subdivision plat to reduce the overall number of lots and to reconfigure them to reflect the current usage of land. The property is currently divided into 4 parcels, and the applicant is proposing to reduce this to 2 parcels, one which will go with a larger building to the north, and a second that will go with a smaller building to the south. Engineering has provided comments related to water and sewer and other utilities, traffic and access, sidewalks, and stormwater management. At the June Planning Commission meeting, the commission unanimously recommended approval of the final plat with the conditions that are in the staff report, and staff recommends approval of the requested final plat amendment with the 4 conditions that are listed in the memo.
All right. There are questions by the board?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. All right, consider a bid from Andy Forney Construction for the construction of a pocket park at City Hall.
So we advertised for the construction of the park in early May, and opened bids about 30 days ago. We received one bid from a local contractor, AS Forney Construction. The total bid was $774,500. Additional $35,000 for a brick paper alternate. And you can put the bid tab on the screen. The bid tab is going to be on the screen. The project is larger than the tenth of an acre lot that's between City Hall and Square Butch Jr. The total project encompasses more than a quarter of an acre and includes improving ADA access and circulation by constructing new ADA compliant ramps and parking spaces, repairing old brick storm inlets on East Jackson, placing an 18-inch concrete storm drain that's collapsing behind City Hall, relocating gas lines, upgrading connection to the chiller tower, installing a 1,600 cubic feet underground stormwater detention system in the back parking lot. So it's a pretty large project. We believe the project will provide a needed place for the public to congregate on the square that does not currently exist. The park will not be purely this aesthetic improvement. It will be a functional improvement for the square. We've established funding for the total project, which includes the design, engineering, testing, demolition of the old RSVP building, which is already done, utility relocation, and we use money from the Mississippi State Legislature, the T-Mobile Hometown Grant, tree escrow account, money set aside for engineering improvement projects, and money from the Baptist account, funds left over from another project. And these are the conceptual plans that are on the screen. And if you go to the next, they're the construction documents. So we start with the conceptual plan, which I think everyone's seen. This is actually what we did. And I'm here to answer any questions about the project if anybody has any.
What was the budget amount?
We didn't have a budgeted amount. We knew, we had funds set aside and knew that we would have to add to that, but the funds that were set aside were $250,000 from the state legislature, $200,000 that we had initially set aside, $50,000 from T-Mobile. And then we have funds available because we've expanded the scope of the project and are going to now incorporate the stormwater portion of Jackson Avenue East down through the parking lot and redo ADA ramps and some parking spaces and things while we tear all that out, because we're gonna have to tear out Jackson Avenue to replace a pipe that's collapsing under it as part of the scope.
Be collected and put an existing inlet, but we videoed the inlet and it's collapsed, so we have to redo that as part of this, which the engineer has money to do.
So we have
That's the reason that.
we have the funds, they're just coming from a variety of different places.
That's correct.
But you're saying, so how much, if we didn't have to do all that, what would the price of an estimate of the price of the park come in at?
We bid the project as a lump sum, so we don't have itemized pricing on a lot of the different.
But I mean, that's in there to repair all the stormwater and all those pipes under Jackson Avenue. So they're gonna,
And to move the chiller.
right,
and-
but Forney Construction is gonna do all that and not the city?
That's correct.
Is it something that the city would be capable of doing, Bart? I mean, it's not something we would do otherwise, is it?
We couldn't do anything else. Keep the ties up for several weeks, doing all the
You want them to do it. Because it does two things. One, it frees us up, and then two, they're warranted for how long?
But, so just to guess, I mean, you're saying that how much is all of that? Probably be $150,000, $200,000?
Yeah.
So basically, we're not that far off with because we had almost $500,000 set aside
right.
for the park. That's what I'm getting at.
And we are going to utilize $200,000, $250,000 of sewer and water and engineering funds to do that
Make a
additional.
motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. All right, request permission to approve a quote from TriStar Mechanical for the relocation of the City Hall chiller tower.
The first step in the park construction is relocating the chiller tower, which is, it's an owner item outside that, the park construction contract. Ppin procured 2 quotes, and they're in the board pack. The low quote was from TriStar for $43,900. the fund, again, the same as well, the funding for the relocation is included in the funding model mentioned in the previous item. And relocation will help the efficiency of the unit and will improve accessibility if repairs are needed in the future.
So where's it
Might have seen
going?
when you walked in, they painted on the ground out back
Where the chiller's
gonna
gonna go.
be relocated. You can't stay in the current location for us to build the park. We could begin that immediately.
So that's not included in the thing we just approved?
Yes.
That is not included. That's the only piece left. It's not included. It is funded in the model that we put together.
So it wasn't
I'm sorry.
774,000, it was 811,000 or whatever.
The total project cost is design and the demo of the old building contracted were separate items from the park construction.
I thought we already approved that.
That's all, that's right. We've already approved.
The demolition.
But I thought the demolition included the chiller.
No.
They demolished all around it.
You're cold right there, you're cold.
I'm just
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Accept maintenance and release all retainage withheld on the wastewater treatment plant flow equalization project. Rihanna?
Yes, I'm very excited to say that we are complete with this project. It's functioning, I think it's beautiful, I bet Rob thinks it's beautiful. So we were just asking you to accept maintenance and release the retainage.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Jason would like some details on retainage.
What's the retainage?
It's about $500,000 that we withheld out of the contract.
Oh, we're thinking of something else. The kids are over here.
I tell you. Summertime.
Consider a request from AS Forney Construction LLC to work extended hours and have short-term street closures on Jeff Davis extended for multiple concrete pours.
Yes, they are building a 4-story mini storage unit, facility, as it's not a unit, facility, that fronts Jeff Davis, and they're asking permission to have periods of closure of that street for concrete pours. They're gonna have to use, a pumper truck because of the site, the size of the site and access. They need to set that truck up on Jeff Davis and be able to reach into the site to pour. They're also asking for extended hours during the peak of the summer months to try to get that pour started at 4 a.m. so they have time to begin it and get everything finished, in a day before that concrete sets up on them. It's too late. They've got a pour schedule that's approximated right now, and it begins tentatively July 8th and goes through October 12th. Obviously, as we get on into the fall, the weather conditions are gonna change, the time's gonna change, so they would not be beginning pours at 4 a.m. And what I would propose to the board is, because they've got 3 pours scheduled in July, for us to consider those pours and then grant permission going forward, depending on if there's any feedback from the community. I've got an aerial, small aerial, but it shows kind of where it says it's right across from the life lights. There is a apartment complex down the road. That way we can see the impact if there is negative impact, and particularly once school begins in August, we can make changes.
I move we approve.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. That was a quick meeting. I would ask the board to consider an executive session.
Move we consider executive session.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?